Hey booktube, I'm not over there at my normal space because I've been awake for a really long time and well, I mean, I'm not breaking any records. Regardless, here, check,
You don't
check,
make up for your sins in the
check,
church.
check, check this book out. You see, this is
You
if
do
you
it in the
haven't reading,
streets.
here it
You
is,
do it at home.
freaking Jarhead.
The rest is bullshit.
And man, what a book. I'm gonna do this backwards. I'm giving this book 4.5 stars. Now, generally, if you're on Goodreads, you can't do halvesies and quarters, stars, but this is YouTube.
We can do whatever the we want. Word up.
4.5 arbitrary stars. Saying this up front because this is not a book where I can like spoil the narrative for you, because the narrative itself jumps back and forth. He's like in his basement looking at his footlocker full of all his army crap. And he's like, oh, back when I was young and strapped, I could fit all this stuff, and I was in the desert. And the desert's still in here, and blah, blah, blah. Then he goes to goes back to the past, and he's running and stuff and being in the military, and then he's back in the future, and his friends are dead. And he's way in the past, and he's a child in Japan, and then he's like back in the army, he's a little bit further in the army time. He goes back and forth a bunch, but yo! This book is good. Like, I had a fun time reading it, man. It was engrossing. He expressed his fear very well. He expressed his alienation. It was sick, man. Hey, yo, if you haven't seen the Jake, Jill, and Hall movie that was based after this book, probably see that movie too. I saw that back in like '05 or whatever when it came out, or good movie. There's a lot of stuff that's like movie-fied. Jamie Foxx's character is totally movie-fied, but it's actually more compelling in the book because of the way that he tells the stories, like he was there. Dang, you know what? I was thinking that I had marked a place in here that was like an exemplary example. Wow. Of like Swofford's writing style. But that point would end up being mixed anyway, because the same reason I love the book from the jump is also why it lost that half a star. Because he explains how he feels very, very well, but it's too much. It's too metaphor heavy at points. When the war is happening, when things are in real time, he's using metaphors to express what he felt and what the scene was like at that moment, which is good for explanation, but it doesn't serve the pace that the story is moving at for the reader. As he's writing it, he's remembering, so I understand why he would use that mechanism, but it wasn't quite right for the pacing. I never thought I'd be saying something like that, but here I am, breaking down this guy's writing style and getting in his head about how he felt when he wrote the book. Maybe I do belong on book 2. Anyway, dude is a great, fantastic writer. You know what? Let's do it like this. Let's just open it right up and see. I can do this, and I'll probably get to it. Here you go. I just did this. This is probably some great writing. Probably some great writing right here. 4 years after the iron-on was applied to my t-shirt, my dress blue photo would be tucked in the lower left corner of Billy's portrait. While my mother worked on my iron-on, my father paid bills or wasted time inside his study, either unwilling to take part in the historic moment occurring in the kitchen, or simply disinterested in the elite future his son might grasp. The USMC iron-on considered with little sane paternal irony as Boy Scout camp and trumpet lessons and Little League. Money gone and time possibly wasted, but what's the hurt? This is life, and life goes on, and children live happily if we're lucky and raised them well. I mean, I liked it. The whole book is kind of like that. Super insightful. Always having this feeling of like, huh. Just, looking at a sad, dark memory and thinking to yourself, huh, there was something to grasp there, wasn't there? There's a little kernel of something in it. The whole book is like that. Big old catharsis for this guy going over his war. But I'm not saying 4.5 stars for no reason. Sick. Jarhead is a term that people call Marines. You know, they got those high and tight cuts. You know what I'm saying? Looking like Arlie Emery. And also, if you look at the cover, there's a tag, the dog tag just says Jarhead. So the thing about Jarheads is that they're groomed for war and unfit for anything else. They're barely fit for war. I mean, what do you mean? What does that mean? Fit to die? Fit to kill if you're lucky enough to belong there, or to be one of those, like, you know, killers, not just someone who...
I got lost on the way to college, sir!
But all throughout the book, when he's talking about before he joins as a high schooler, wanting to be a Marine is not going to impress anybody in the 1980s. And then afterwards, as when he leaves, not really having a place in society is a theme with all the people as he finds them, you know, at different points of his life. His buddies, one of them dies in an accident. When they go to his town in Michigan and get drunk at a bar, all the townspeople are hating on them because they're jarheads and they're not from around there, they're not welcome. And the kind of anger they feel, let me find that joint. I felt somewhat sorry for the men we'd beaten. They had good reason not to want us in their bar. They'd recognized us as foreigners, just as they'd recognized Troy as no longer belonging to Greenville. Those men had actually shown Troy more respect than his family or his friends, because the family and the friends had loved Troy, and with their selfishness and love had wanted him to again be a part of their world. But the men we fought were willing to tell Troy that he didn't belong. Read the book, y'all. It's worth it. It's worth your time. That's all I got. Yeah, so as far as nexty up years, I got on TikTok. I'm doing Machiavelli the Prince, chapter by chapter, son. And I'll probably, the next book I'm gonna read for this is like Lisa Lowry. You know, the chick we did The Giver? So I went down to the library, there's a library up the street. And I usually get them books they have for like 50 cents or $1. And I'm a sucker for a dope title. And the title of this book is Find a Stranger, Say Goodbye. It's a fly-ass title. Had to pick it up. It's something about like some chicks trying to find out her mom or she's adopted. It's like a YA shit. So, you know, whatever, man. I'll read it and I'll let you know what's up. In the meantime, kids, stay alive if you can. Alrighty.